Remember back then, way back, when you still had time to frolic in the fields and be one with the butterflies. Back when the possibilities of life were infinitely abundant. High school. Now, obviously, that may not have been the exact experience of everyone back then, but you did have a lot of choice, specifically regarding your career, your future. Or did you? You were an achiever. You were to be an engineer, a doctor, an actuary maybe. But matric didn't go as planned. So you settled for the next best thing, accounting. But was it the right choice for you? Also, how now, with a similar optionality and range of choices within the accounting and finance fields, do you make that right choice for you going forward? Today we are joined by Mathabatha Julius Mojapelo, CASA, CIA and RA, and thought leader for professionals of Africa. We chat about what you need to know about yourself to follow the right career path. We also chat about the optionality of decision making, why you should focus on the things that are true to you, the 4 streams to pursue as a CA, and more. I hope you enjoy. My travelers on the road to CASA. Quick one. There is a skill that is so meta, so overarching, but so overlooked within this field. And I think within many fields. And that is the ability to read. But moreover, to speed read. I am so surprised at how little we actually kind of pursue ways to learn how to learn better. Because if we think about every single exam paper, we need to read like we're on fire. And we obviously don't know how to because we never trained to. Julius has an incredible article, our guest today, linked in the show notes on this underrated skill in finance and accounting. And I really believe that it's one of those strategic multipliers, those leverage multipliers for productivity and I think career success. So just check it out, linked in the show notes, speed reading article. You'll see it there. With that, onto the show. Welcome back, my people. This is the Road to CA podcast, the show for aspiring chartered accountants to inspire, empower, and inform the difference makers of tomorrow. Yo, today. Guys. Today we're joined by the professional. I say the professional because he is, in my view, the thought leader in the professional world of the African professional. Yes, he is continental, people. He is a CASA. But not only that, CIA, CRMA, RA, PSQP, PEQA, TLDR, he is stacked. He is working as the head of internal audit at SQX Productivity. I said it right? Yes, I said it right. Most importantly, though, he likes to read, likes to play sports, and he likes to travel in his spare time. We are joined by Mathabatha Julius Mojapelo.
Yes, no, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Julius, how are you? How are you today on this fine?
The weather has cooled down, so it's a good day to do anything that without too much pressure from the heat.
The blessing of South African weather, hey?
Yeah, we have got the best of everything.
It's got the best of everything. Yeah, to start us off, we usually do this at the beginning of the road to CA. We go back. Let's rewind to where CA began for you.
Yeah, CA has always been the journey for me. So when I did my secondary education, by grade 9, I think, already I knew that other subjects were not working for me. So it wasn't a difficult choice because I was bad at the other ones. So it was easy to realize that me and accounting are very close. I like it because in grade 9, I basically passed accounting and failed other subjects that were very important in the other fields.
Oh, yeah.
So I think from grade 10 it was very straightforward.
Did you do science?
You have no. Yeah, I did that, but I failed it.
Was it because it opens doors?
No, at that time it was a mixture. I think at grade 9 they gave you this mixture of subjects.
Okay.
That after that you could then stream in grade 10. And yeah, so I did that, and I saw that physics and sciences didn't work for me. I didn't enjoy sitting and learning about biological stuff. And so, but accounting, I just found myself loving it and focusing on it. And yeah, I think I got a distinction in accounting and failed other subjects. So that already told me, don't waste your time, focus. So yeah, so from grade 10, I just focused on accounting, and that's where the journey began. And yeah, that helped a lot.
There's this book that I believe every aspiring professional has to read. Every knowledge worker in any type of field that requires you to use your brain. And it's called Managing Oneself by Peter Drucker. So Peter Drucker is like the father of management. And this book is about how to manage yourself in the working world. But there's a beginning to all of it. And that is by asking 3 questions. Fundamental questions that we seldom ask. What are my strengths? What are my values? How do I work? What you did at the beginning there of literally just like paying attention to what was the case. You didn't do good at this. You did well at that, and just doubling down on what you're good at is the path of least resistance. It's the path, and I feel like that's what you've carried on to do in your career.
No, definitely, because you can't fight yourself and win. So I think it's even if you win, you will lose because you will be forcing yourself to do things that are not naturally you. So I've had the privilege of being able to align at all times to what I feel comes natural to me. It doesn't mean you can't explore things. It just means once you find it, stick with it. Because we over explore, I think. We explore, we find it, and then it feels too good to be true. And we go like, man, what if I did something else? That time you're going to try this something else that firstly you didn't know about. Yeah. You are not even sure if you're going to like it. And you are living something you know very well that you are passionate about and you can focus on. So I think it's very important that what you found it, focus on it. Stick with it.
You can't fight yourself and win.
You can't. Even if you win, you lose.
Even if you win, that's yours, ne? I have to make sure
I haven't had it anywhere, so
even if you win,
you lose.
So it actually gets into an idea that I heard from this guy who's a Silicon Valley investor. His name's Naval Ravikant. Basically, he's of the exact same belief. If you act against your intuition, the problem is you will still lose because your intuition is the only thing that will feel. Because, there's a great paradox of the human rational mind. The idea that we can rationalize is quite a contradiction because even the rational decisions that we come to from a logical perspective, it's important to think about things, but even those were emotional decisions.
Very emotional, actually. I've recently read an article from the Harvard Business Review about why intelligent people make stupid decisions. And it just shows you half the time, probably, or even more, we make decisions that for sure we think are very rational. But when you investigate further, you realize that it's not as rational as you thought. So there's always a level of irrationality in how we make decisions. And that's why intuition is very important because it balances that. You can sometimes you have facts, but the decision still feels wrong.
Yeah.
Even after you've gotten all the facts. And this is now the time to tap into that intuition and say, okay, what feels right? That's supported by the facts. Then you can go for that.
From a career perspective, actionably, how, let's say I am a matric student or even a grade 11 student, how would you advise me to go about deciding on my career so that I don't make the decision that makes me lose inevitably?
I think one thing I look back with regret on is how much we don't help the young people decide on careers. I think it's an unfair expectation for somebody at primary and secondary level to alone decide on their own career. I think it's just unfair because then they don't have the
context.
They don't know what's coming.
Yeah.
They don't have the hindsight and all that. So I think there are two elements that we are not overemphasizing at a primary and secondary school level that needs to be taken into account in choosing careers. And that's personality and passion. So we are not helping the young people discover their own personalities, passions, and even talents early enough. There are people that still don't know what their talent is. They don't know. But they chose a career. They had accounting. There's money. I'm going there.
Yeah, that's usually
Somebody
the first
had
thing.
doctor. Ooh, my uncle was a doctor.
Yeah.
I'm going there.
Yeah.
So where did your personality, your passion, and your talent come in?
Proficiency, let's call it that. The
exactly.
3 Ps. I like it. Yeah.
When did that come in? Very few people have ever been assessed at that before they finished matric. So they chose careers that were aligned to their subjects, not them. The career is not yours. It's for the subjects you did. That's a dangerous choice.
That's dangerous.
Very dangerous. So now you have got somebody that has passed and they become a CA. Only after that they realize they don't like this thing.
They become a CA and then...
Now they're like, I spent so much time on this thing. Or you become... I've found people that became doctors and left and went to start something else. They became... people that have really were very serious about their careers. Engineers that stopped engineering. This because they realize that it's not me. It's for my subjects. Then you've got a problem. So I think there's a lot of investment we need to do in exactly as you're saying, those 3 Ps. That's what we should be focusing on, helping high school learners, especially those in grade 8 and 9.
Yes.
If you can leave grade 9 knowing your personality, your talents, be very, very good, and your passions, then that's enough for you to be able. Then we can be able to say people with this type of personality, because those stats are there.
Yeah.
That people with certain personalities survive. They say there's a story of a sales company that wanted to understand what type of sales people thrive. So that they can update their recruitment process to say should we hire.
Yes.
And at the beginning they used to look at prior sales experience. But the data told them that no, there's a certain personality that succeeds with or without past experience. So they realized that job required a certain. Then they changed the recruitment process. They started hiring for personality, not for experience, and people started surviving. And that's how important it is to then have those assessments early in your life.
Yes.
So that you do not go through life second guessing, doing things that are unnatural to you. You are never going to be the best version of a photocopy. You can't.
Yeah.
If you are a photocopy, you can never compete with the original.
Yeah.
You're always going to live in the shadows.
Yeah.
Yeah, and most of the time you'll be in black and white. So.
What would you say now, because you've got a lot of experience in many different professions within accountancy, because I think we also don't know that, let's call it accountancy and finance. Within accountancy and finance, there are a wide range of different personalities. So literally, although like we come into the CA thing and we sort of think that, yeah, we all have this type of personality, we all are numbers people, etc., etc. There's actually a lot more nuance to it. What would you say are the personality traits of, let's call it in your case,
an auditor and an internal auditor?
Yeah, I think audit by itself is an easy one to play in. And I think auditors easily can convert between all the audit streams, whether it's forensic audit, internal audit, external audit. The main difference is in management. Once you start going into management functions. So the CA has got four streams, basically. You've got audit, and then you've got management, which is more or less the finance, the guys that would have done financial accounting, that would have done management accounting. They usually, they will stream into management. They'll become CFOs. They'll become, all that. That would be great. Then you've got the tax guys. That's like law. So I always say, actually, tax is law. It's not accounting. Those that have done tax prior to qualification will attest that there isn't much accounting in tax. It's actually an interpretation of law. And that takes a lot of interpreting of law. So that's a lot. And then there's leadership. That usually comes in, unfortunately, naturally with all the positions. So you can have audit, you can have management, you can have tax, but then you have leadership. So for me, under management, you've got the financial accounting and the management accounting, and that's all management. Because you can become a FM, a CFO, but you end up in management positions in that one. Tax, you become mostly in consulting spaces, but legal consulting, not like the normal consulting as audit or finance. So then the leadership one is the one that is even becoming more prevalent now, because you'll see a lot of CEOs that are CAs. So, but that was never part of the curriculum. So you have to develop that as another layer of this profession. So already I can say there are personalities for those different ones. There's an audit personality, and there's an audit personality, then there's a management personality. And usually the management guys are the ones that are more prone to becoming CEOs and them. And then there's the legal one, which is more tax.
Advisory on just that specific.
Exactly. So I think that's where we can start if we look at the personalities. And then based on the personality you found, then you can pick your stream. And then you can do that.
You mentioned how leadership is the overarching skill aspect. Where do we start with that?
Yeah, I think we need a leadership program for CAs. A very strong leadership program for CAs. I know Saika did some work with Gibbs.
Yes.
They did something. I once took a 6 months leadership accelerator program with Gibbs that was curated by Saika. But I'm not sure if that still continues, And I think there's really a need to partner with the likes of Facet and them. And make sure that there's a dedicated leadership program for CAs. Because they come in, because if you go into an MBA as a CA, you already know a lot. I mean, in terms of finances and stuff. MBAs usually work very well for people that are not from the finance field, whether it's HR, marketing, engineering, and that. It works very well for them. But it doesn't work as well for CAs because you already have this strong qualification. That MBA, people try to get MBA to come to your level. You are going to go get an MBA as well. Now you do content at 101 level, and you are there, and maybe the research part and the networking is more important, but you don't get a lot more in terms of acumen, as compared to somebody that did marketing as a specialization and they do an MBA.
It changes the whole world.
It changes their whole world.
They didn't know what EBITDA was.
They're like, that's how you read financials. We've been balancing financials since first year, so we don't have a problem. So I think leadership is the part we need to invest in the most. And beyond that, there's a stream we don't have at all now, which is entrepreneurship.
Sure.
That's another stream.
That's very controversial because if you think about the type of CA that we want to create, there hasn't been a conversation around a entrepreneurial.
No, there hasn't.
It's usually audit, tax, like your financial skills.
Exactly. Yeah. So there's a need for that stream. I'm actually very keen to find a day where you can do articles as an entrepreneur. You don't have to go to a firm at first. Just go into entrepreneurship during your articles because What stops you? I think when people leave CTA, they are completely, very proficient. Knowledge-wise. I don't think you can learn much more after CTA. That's why we just have board exams. It's not like you're going to do anything new. And in those board exams, they test exactly the same thing you did in CTA. So I think beyond CTA, you should be able to go straight into entrepreneurship. And entrepreneurship is very simple. It means we just have to create the logbook for you. To say, go open your own business, but every 3 months, report the following. And then that's it.
And obviously, like attend maybe those master classes.
Yes,
workshops,
then we create some.
where you can get sorry,
Exactly.
I had this issue with this client. Oh, you have a sales problem. Oh, you have a marketing problem. Oh, you have an HR problem.
Yeah. Because you can imagine the CAs. I think our economy is sleeping on CAs. Our economy is sleeping on CAs. We have this powerful machine in the economy that we're not tapping into enough. CAs are underutilized in this country. Underutilized. Most of them at their jobs, they are doing such mundane tasks. They are even bored now. That's why they start doing a lot of things. They start over traveling. They start running comrades marathons. They're like, guys, I love the comrades marathon, but I don't think it can be the epitome of your success. Not as a CA. There are people that grew up to run the comrades. Good for them.
Yeah.
For us, the economy expects a lot more than winning comrades from us. We need to start winning, creating factories, creating export opportunities.
Sure.
That's what we should be winning at. Not going to win. Yes, do that.
You can,
But we can now start popularizing winning at things that are not our core.
I think that entrepreneurial articles, my mind was even thinking, like, I hope these ideas, they inspire just one person, because it only takes one person to, for an example, what I was thinking, you could start a venture capital fund where someone who's great as a venture capitalist can actually start having young CAs, sort of like the Y Combinator in Silicon Valley, but for CAs. I actually hear exactly what you're saying.
Exactly.
You also have this idea of the untapped army.
A huge one.
Can you please elaborate on that? To be continued in part 2. See you next week.